Hello, 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 hello Singaporeans, and we are back for the fourth segment of the Norwex Product Talks. In the first two segments, I have talked about the perfect set to get to know about the Norwex products, and that was our Safe Haven 5, with 5 products that can help you clean very effectively and efficiently over many spaces in your home. And the second segment, we showed you how Norwex can cover all the big spaces in your homes that needs regular cleaning. And you can do that with just the Norwex cloth and mops. If you have not seen the videos, do go and check it out on our Norwex Singapore Facebook page, posted on 1st July and 15th July. You will learn how some of the mop pads can be used dry to pick up the dust, and then you follow up with a wet mop pad. It's so easy to clean with just the Norwex mop pads and water. And for the curious, you will also want to know how it works. We stand proudly and strongly behind the product promise and the product talks attempts to explain the how and the why. Such important stuff, right? To understand the how and the why. So do rethink clean with Norwex. So please, if you like the product series, do click like and share on your Facebook too, or send out the links via WhatsApp. Today, we are moving on to another part of our home, and I always call this area the heart of the home. Do you know which part of the home I'm referring to? Take a guess, huh? Yes, it is the kitchen. I must say, I spend most of my hours here. Family time, entertaining, of course that was during pre-COVID. Even I noticed my pets loves to lie in the kitchen area. But now, it's more like my home office area. Now, as in all the other segments, we always have a quiz where we will give out rewards to the first 3 correct answers to a question that I will ask. And the question is, okay, are you ready? The question is, what is the dirtiest cleaning tool in most kitchens? The prize is a set of counter cloths that's worth Singapore 30. Alright? Now, I remember when my kids were toddlers and my mom were minding the kids because I'm a working mom. My mom had to let them sit in the kitchen area playing with the pots and pans and ladles, simply because my mom had to cook for us. So the kitchen was their playground. They don't want the toy cooking stuff, they wanted the real ones. So even back then, all the detergents and the stuff have to be placed up in a higher area so that it is out of their reach. It would have been so great to have Norwex back then. I would not have needed all those different detergents for the floor, the windows and whatnot, alright? So now, we're talking about kitchen today. So some homes have big kitchens, while others could be more compact. Or with the modern condos today, we could have an open concept where the kitchen and the lounge are practically seamless. So regardless of the kitchen type, it will always have countertops, open shelves, or even shelves inside the cabinets, prep area, cooking area, dining table, dining chairs, fridge, and all kinds of kitchen appliances and gadgets and tools. So really, a lot of cleaning is needed here, right? You would agree with me, right? A lot of cleaning is needed here. The Norwex products I am sharing today is ideal and perfect for washing the kitchen tools, the bowls, the plates, the pots, the pans, the cutlery, wiping up the dining tables, the countertop. What I would say simply as daily kitchen essentials. Right, so now to start, let me talk about some of the products and then I will go deep into the products, right? We have the Spiri sponges, the Enviro sponges, the Enviro scrubs, the dishcloth, the counter cloth. We have bottle brush, Spiri net, kitchen cloth and kitchen towel, and of course you will always need dishwashing liquids. In total, how many did I name? In total 10 items. But you don't need all of them, but you will definitely need a few of them. And as I share the uses of each of the products, you can decide which are the ones that will fit your cleaning needs. So do stay on, and it's a good time to share the link now too. Right, so now as we move on to the first products, typically most kitchens will have a sponge and steel wool in the kitchen sink. Am I right? Don't you have a sponge in the steel wool? I definitely had that for the longest time in my kitchen. But side note, most of you do know that the kitchen sponges probably is one of the dirtiest cleaning tools we may have in the kitchen. Simply because we are cleaning food particles, grease, all sorts of grimy stuff, you know. And you know that one bacteria cell can multiply to 8 million cells in just under 24 hours. Yeah, scary, right? But that's how fast they multiply. Let me introduce the Norwex range of sponges, which we will use to do the daily washing of our plates, our bowls, our pots, our wok, our frying pans, and whatever you need to wash, you would use our sponges. And you actually have a choice of, you can actually have a choice, so you don't get confused. You actually have a choice of using Enviro sponges or the dishcloths. Each have their own unique capabilities, but overall is good for daily washing of the dishes and cooking pots and pans. Enviro sponge is dual-sided, measures 6 by 4 inches, a very nice size, with the Enviro on one side and a scrubby side. It comes with the backlock feature, and if you know, the backlock feature is actually the microsilver that helps to prohibit the growth of bacteria, mildew, and eliminate bacterial odor. You can also use this sponge dry to soak up small spills. Use the Enviro side to do the soaking up. Now, if you're one of those who bake a lot, and when you bake, there tends to be a lot of gooey, sticky substances in your food preparation, and even after you have baked your cakes or your bread, you know. And then an alternative to the Enviro sponge would be the dishcloth. This is a specially woven cloth. It does not have the backlock feature, but because of the netted weave, it offers a good and gentle scrubbing effect. This helps to remove all the dough and flour that may have spilled out or caked up on the prepping counter or bowls or pan or baking trays. This netted cloth is great for washing whisk, graters, and also for your daily dishes. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to demonstrate to clean a bowl. All right. Now this is a bowl. This is a bowl that I borrowed from one of our Crown brand ambassadors who baked bread yesterday. So I said, please do not wash it. Send it over to my house. I'll clean it out for you. All right. So this is what I'm going to do. I need some water. So I have water here and my netted dishcloth. Because it's oily, she let her dough set here for a while to rise up. I'm going to use a bit of the detergent. Right. And I'm going to start to scrape it out. You can see that as I'm scraping, it's actually very easy. I'm not going to do the whole bowl. I just want to leave some of the, I'm just going to clean like half of the bowl. Okay. Okay. Now you can see that the food crumbs have, the dough have actually been picked up by the netted dishcloth. And now what I'm going to do is, wait, let me just do this portion out first. So there's some parts that's really, sticky already because we have left it since yesterday to really kick up good and proper. So what I want to show you first is how easy the gooey stuff that is now picked up by the netted dishcloth, how easily it washes out. Okay. There, you cannot see any of the gooey substances there, right? So of course, it would be easier if I have a sink, but since I'm not working in front of a sink, I'm just going to wash off the areas that I cleaned out just now. Okay. And I'm just going to wipe it dry with a kitchen towel. All right. You can see the part that is cleaned out. It's really shiny now. Of course, there was a lot of scratches, probably from previous apparatus that Alvina could have used. All right. So it's pretty clean. And let me just dry my hands and mop up the water that I've spilled. All right, let me put this away. Now, I also mentioned that it's great for cleaning out odd-shaped apparatus, like what Alvina used to make her braid. I don't bake bread, so I don't really know what it is. So now I'm just going to clean this out as well. You can see that it's great for cleaning out all these apparatus, and it's coming out very easily in one go. So that's where the netted dish comes in really handy, because it does have a bit of a scrubby effect. Gentle scrubby effect, right? And there you have it. Just going to soak the whole thing out. Again, of course, I would rinse it through water if I was in a sink, if I have a sink nearby, but since I don't have, I'm not near a sink, I'm just going to wipe it dry. That you can see that all the things that were encrusted to it has been removed, right? And if I were to show you again, if I were to run this through the water, just the water droplets, right? Again, it's very clean. So it's great for all these odd-shaped items as well. Now, Alvina also gave me another thing to clean for her. So what she gave me was this jar. I don't know what she did with this jar, but I think she purposely put some of this cakey dough inside to ask me to clean it. And what's great about the netted dishcloth is because it is soft. It's a cloth. Let me just put a bit more detergent because it's getting a bit oily. So now if I were to just soak this inside, the good thing about the cloth is you can actually shove the whole cloth inside to scrub out the dough. Now this has been left again overnight, so a bit more scrubbing is needed to get it out. And I will proceed to do that in a while, right? Because I want to move on to the program. I will proceed to do it in a while and I'll show you later the effects. Meanwhile, I'm going to put it away and wipe up the wet part here. All right, and I always have a kitchen cloth handy to wipe my hands. So you can see the width of the cloth. The width of the cloth makes it difficult to harbor germs or for food substances to stick to it. The food substances wash out easily from the cloth, and it dries pretty fast when you hang it up, right? Because of all the holes. All right. Now moving on to the next item. So again, let me repeat. You have a choice of using either the Enviro sponge or the netted dishcloth to use as for soaping. Now in most Asian households where cooking normally involves frying or deep frying or boiling, which leaves to a burnt layer at the sides of the pot or at the base of the pot, we will require a harder tool than a sponge, just like you would normally use a steel wool. Here in Norwex, you again have a choice of whether you want to use the Spirit sponge or the Spirit net. This will come to your rescue. The Spirit sponge is a non-scratching scrubber sponge. It removes sticky substances from all surfaces, safe for use on all non-stick surfaces and glass-top stoves. On stainless steel pots, I do recommend that you try it on a small area first, because we don't really want your stainless steel pot to be scratched. It depends on the finishing of your stainless steel pot, all right? This spirit sponge should always be used wet, and for stubborn stains you can always add to the cleaning a bit of the cleaning paste. So you add it to the sponge and you scrub away. Alternatively, if you are a steel wool user, try the Norwex Spirit Net. It is made of rust-proof, non-deteriorating stainless steel. This net is very long-lasting. If you have used it a few times, like I'm going to show you one that I have been using in my kitchen for a few months already, it may tend to come a bit out of shape, and you may find that certain ends are sticking out. If that happens, don't worry, just snip out those ends that have come out. And if you want your Spirit Net to have a bit more form, what you do is the extended parts, take it and just push it back into the center, right? To try to make it back into a ball, right? Of course, the ball will not come back as nice as this, but it's a decent size ball, right? Used one, new one. All right. So that is for the scrubby things that you need to do. Now, many people ask me this item, okay, the Enviro scrubs. What do you do with this then? I will share with you my personal experience of how I use the scrub, all right? I use the Enviro sponges. To do the to soap the dishes. You know, our dishes are oily, so you need a bit of detergent. So I use this to soap the dishes. But when I am rinsing out the pots, the pans, the plates, I will use the Enviro scrubs. From my experience, it is faster and more effective when rinsing out the soapy dishes with the scrub cloth than just rinsing out with your hands. This measures a very nice size, 6 by 6 inches. And another plus of having these scrubs in your kitchen, I use it to wash out my coffee cups, my cutting knives, cutting boards, any item that does not need dishwashing liquids, simply because it's not oily. So in this way, I'm not using the same sponges that I use to do my daily oily dishes with dishes that does not require detergent, because it is non-oily, right? So that's what I use this scrub for. It's really great. And you can see that I constantly use the scrub just now, the scrub cloth, to mop up a bit of the spillage of water as I'm demonstrating to you. Now, the next item, every kitchen will have drinking bottles, teapots, long tall glasses where your hands can't reach. And if we think that if we just put water, we don't need to scrub it, that's very wrong, because it does feel a bit slimy. And sometimes when I look at some of my tin cups or my ceramic cups, if I'm just using it for water, I see also like brown spots. So there could be some contamination in the water. Our water is not as clean as we like it to be, all right? So this is where the bottle brush comes in really handy for all this long, tall glass. Now, the brush end is made of flexible and sturdy rubber brushes, right? Sturdy. It contains no nylon bristles that can harbor bacteria, and there's no metal wire that can rust inside. The bristles, if you notice, are nicely spaced out to minimize trapping of food particles and unwanted particles, and also allow fast drying of the bristles after use. But at the same time, the spaces are well spaced out to be able to do a very good cleaning for you as well, all right? In addition, you can wear the Enviro sleeve over the bristles to gently clean delicate glassware, or alternatively use the sleeve to dry the insides of the item you are cleaning. All right. This handle comes with an easy grip, right? Really nice feel and sturdy, not like some others that are flimsy that bends easily if you are really cleaning very, very clean for it, right? For if, let's say I'm cleaning this. If I'm applying a stronger force to it, it's still holding very steady, nice grip. Now, not only is it good for long tall glasses, what if you have got nice teapots like this? Lovely teapot, but the opening is really very small and difficult to wash, and the inside is a circle. It's like almost like a ball. This is really great. It moves in and it goes around the teapot very easily. And if your teapot is particularly fragile and you want to protect it, that's when you wear the sleeve to clean nice teapots that you may have, all right? Or any teapot. So this bottle brush, again, I think every household should have a bottle brush. Now, moving on, I've talked a lot of the products already. I don't know how many I've talked, but I think I've covered quite a lot. Moving on, every house must have a kitchen cloth. Not one, maybe 2 or 3. Norwex offers 2 sizes of kitchen cloth. A cloth, this is what we call a cloth which is 13.5 inches by 10 inches. It's a very good size, a very adequate size, I would say, for wiping, rinsing, and wipe again, right? And because of the size, it is easy for your hands to handle when wiping. You don't have to handle a big cloth, which is difficult to wipe, right? A small cloth of the right size folded into 4 does a great job of the cleaning already. So it's easy for your hands to handle when wiping and also to pick up food debris and spillages. The size is easy to rinse out often. You wring out the water, excess water, and you hang to dry. And again, because of the size, it dries much faster, right? Now, why did I say you need more than one in your kitchen? Well, I will share my experience. I keep one to wipe out messes and soak up spillages as I prep the raw food. We wash a lot, cut and peel various types of ingredients, and in the process that area gets very wet. This comes in really handy in the wet kitchen as I'm prepping the food. I keep another one of these cloths just to wipe other areas like the dining tables, the countertops, the breakfast tables. So I keep them separate, all right? So there's 2 uses of the 2 areas where you should use a different kitchen cloth. Now the kitchen towel. The kitchen towel has a much longer length. It is also 10 inches in width, but the length is 25.5 inches. And this is really great for drying your hands. You will notice that as I demonstrate, I would dry my hands with this. Now, if you're cooking a lot, you will know that your hands are frequently wet. So washing up and cooking as you go along. So this kitchen towel will dry your hands very well. So make sure that it is handy and within easy reach when you are doing your cooking. And this is a personal testimony from a chef who does a lot of dough work, flour work. And he needs to keep his hands dry. So he tells me this is really great because I can really dry my hands if I'm doing my dough work and my flour work and I have to answer a call. And then after I answer a call, I have to wash my hands again before I go back to the flour work. So this is one that he keeps handy around his waist. All right. The kitchen towel is also perfect for, besides drying your hands, it's also perfect for drying wet plates, bowls, pots and pans immediately after wash. You will notice that it leaves no lint or stretch marks and scratch marks, not streak marks, not stretch marks, streak marks. So I have a glass wok cover. So I'm just going to wet it. It's a clean one. I'm just going to make it like really wet. And also wet the side. So you can see that it's thoroughly wet. And I'm also wetting my countertop. That's okay. So this is really great. It's a big size, and you can see that I'm going to wipe this whole Okay, I hope you can see this. So I'm not even touching the glass. You see that it's a big size, it's a very big wok cover. Okay, so you can see that there's no streak marks at all, no lint left onto the glass surface, right? So this is really a great cloth to have in your kitchen. Hang on, let me turn this back. Alternatively, we also have, and that was the price that for the first 3 persons who got it correct. Alternatively, we also have our counter cloth, right? It's also handy item around the house for smaller hands like your kids. If they want to help you clean up, this is great for them. Personally, how I use the counter cloth is I try to minimize the use of tissue paper nowadays. So this is always perpetually in my dining table, where these are the napkins I use to wipe my hands when I'm eating, or when I want to wipe my mouth and all that. Alright, so this is a great handy tool to have where you can stop using a lot of paper napkins. Now, before I finish by telling you how to care for these items and also making recommendations of what should be your starter set for your kitchen essentials, let me give you quiz number 2. I'm going to ask you a question. So remember, the first 3 to get the correct answers will receive a set of the counter cloths. A set means 3 of this. But I don't know which color. I can't remember which color we're giving out. Okay. So the question is, and I actually gave you the answer already in one of my demonstrations. Alright? What is the best Norwex product to have in your kitchen if you do a lot of baking? So the answer is on this table. Alright? So care of the cloth. All the cloth is easy. You don't have to worry about this is taken care this way, that is washed that way. No need to worry about. All the cloths and sponges that I have shown you today are hand washable and machine washable. Easy, right? So if slightly dirty, using a tiny drop of dishwashing liquid is good enough. But if it feels more greasy, or after you have used the cloths for quite a while, just soak it with UPP detergent and hot water. No necessity to boil the cloths at all, right? Now, just now I was washing halfway, right? The bottle that was encrusted with the dough that's left overnight was quite hard to wash it. So I've soaked it for a while. And now, you see, the good thing about having the dishcloth is that as a cloth is very soft and it can go into tiny spaces, tiny areas. So you just really give it a good scrubbing, like what I'm doing now, to get all the encrusted stuff out. Yep, that's right. And there was some on the outside as well that didn't come off. And I still see a spot here, so I'm just going to go in and clean it up. Right. So it's a pretty clean bottle nut right now compared with just now, where it was encrusted with the dough, right? And once again, I'm going to show you that the cloth really has no food crumbs lingering onto the cloth. So if you wash this out, you can just hang it up to dry, right? So this cloth, you will find that when you use it, it feels a bit greasy. Sometimes when you're cleaning greasy things, it's perfectly normal because it's doing its job. It's actually removing the greasy feeling from the items that you're cleaning. Alright, so there we are. We're finished with this one. And I'm just going to wipe off here because I dripped all over the place. So, I have shared quite a lot of Norwex cloth with you, and you may be confused. So do permit me to make some recommendations on how you can start your purchase. For a sum of less than Singapore dollar 160, that's at elite customer price, you can have a set of kitchen helpers that can go a long way to keep a healthy and clean kitchen, right? So I've got them prepared here. Now all kitchens will need a kitchen towel. You will all need this. So get the kitchen towel and cloth set. It comes as a set for Singapore $40. But one set is not enough, you may need 2 sets. But if you don't, 1 set is fine. Then you get 1 set of the kitchen cloth trio. This is the cloth. This kitchen cloth trio, you get it for Singapore $44. Alright? So as I said earlier on, you normally need more than 1 kitchen cloth because you can use it for different areas, and also when you wash it, you can alternate it, alright? Then you need sponges to clean your dirty dishes. So you can opt for either the Enviro sponges, which comes in a twin pack of 2 for Singapore $34, or if you really like the dishcloth, the netted dishcloth, you can get the netted dishcloth, which also comes in a set of 2 for Singapore $26. All right, you can choose either one. You don't have to buy 2. You're free to buy 2 if you want, but if you're really watching your budget, just take one, either the Enviro sponge or the netted dishcloth. Now, if you've got really a lot of stubborn stains that you need to clean out from your base of your pots and the sides of your pots, and you like to give things a good scrubbing, you can either opt for the Spirit Sponge, which comes in a set of 2 as well, or the Spirit Net, which also comes in a set of 2. All right? I don't know where my other one went. All right? So you can either go for the Spirit Net, which is a set of 2 is Singapore 9. And a Spirit Sponge is set of 2 is Singapore $15. All right. You will obviously need the bottle brush. This is really handy to have around. And the uniqueness of our bottle brush, apart from the rubber bristles, it does come with an Enviro sleeve that you can use to wipe dry or for more fragile items. All right. So the total of these items, if you count all the items I mentioned, it's about 11 items. It comes to a retail price of 185 Singapore dollar. But as an elite customer, you will just purchase it for Singapore 15725. Not forgetting, obviously, when you use all this cloth and you're washing greasy stuff, you will need the dishwashing liquid. All right. So there you have it. Thank you for joining me today. Right, I hope you enjoyed the session. On August 12th, I will be sharing on part 2 of this talk on kitchen helpers, and this time we are covering the heavy cleaning of the greasy areas of the kitchen. So do tune back in on August 12th. Thank you so much. Keep safe.